China and the United Kingdom signed an agreement last month to boost cooperation in biopharmaceuticals. The event in Beijing was led by the UK's 48 group, with many leading scientists in attendance.
Among them was Sir Christopher Evans, who's founded and co-founded numerous biotech firms in the UK. He's been speaking to our correspondent, Li Jianhua.
Ultimately, what I focus in is development of new medicines and new types of diagnostic tests. So, be it cancer or respiratory and things such as that. And developing these new drugs, running your trials, seeing the patients responding, and eventually seeing your product get out onto the market is a fantastic achievement for everybody involved. And of course, it does make billions of dollars for investors.
And can you talk about some projects that now you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm working on right now is cancer. So I've done a lot of this is my fourth decade of working in biotech, in the West, and I've now decided to focus the next 10 years of my life, at least maybe the next 20, in cancer, so development of new cancer drugs and new cancer tests, diagnostic tests for early stage cancer, diagnoses, and then being able to develop precision cancer medicines for really brilliant types of cancer treatment for a variety of different cancers.
You just came back from China a few weeks ago, so do you have any projects in China right now?
Yeah, I do actually, and I mean, my first impressions, I've been to China quite a few times, by the way, but in the last 3 or 4 years, China's come on dramatically in biotech. So 5-10 years ago, China was way down the rankings. It was just copying other people, doing a bit of innovation. Now China is doing discovery. It's doing really very creative work, and I was very, very impressed with some of the companies that I visited there. Yeah, I have projects. I've always had some projects in China, but I have some brilliant projects in China in cancer right now, where we've taken a drug that's discovered in China, looks very promising, but of course, that's just the very beginning of a long, long process to get a cancer drug onto the world market, to be able to save millions of lives. And what we do, what I specialize in, is taking such a compound, developing a brilliant formulation, developing the manufacturing process, developing the clinical trials, getting the data approved by regulators like the FDA and the MHRA. These are all the things that China will find very difficult to do in the West. So it needs experienced people like ourselves to be able to do that with them or for them.
By bringing drugs to China, we know, given the political tensions between China and the West, do you think that is affecting your work?
Well, yeah, it has been for years, but this whole geopolitical tensions, as you call it, I mean, I'm quite a pragmatic individual, so a lot of people keep talking and politics and meetings, and the best way around this is to actually form a partnership with someone and get on with it. Actually sign your documents, share the intellectual property, trust each other, and practically walk the talk and get on with it.
So looking into the future, what are your hopes that you can achieve or we can achieve 10 years from now, thanks to the advances in the field of biotech?
Well, I think you're going to see, I mean, the most powerful thing is the combination of AI and biotech. You're going to see more and more algorithms coming in, clinical trials, drug development, and particularly in diagnostics as well. So I think the combination of powerful AI-driven digital diagnostics and AI-driven drug development work is just going to be fantastic. And China is very good at all of that. We, by the way, in the West are also very good at all of that. And I just think the needs are there. I think the urge to work together is there. And I think, someone like me, and I can only do so much myself, my aim is to actually form these partnerships and get on with them and make them work and get the drugs developed and get them into the world markets. And I think soon we'll overcome some of these geopolitical sort of positionings that you see around. And I'm not a politician, as you can probably tell, and I don't care much for it either. I just think we need to get on with it and stop worrying about things that may happen which probably won't.